What is up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. Today we are still using the Mega Lucario team with Mega Lucario, Snorlax, Rotom Wash, Incineroar, Landorus Fane, and Tapu Lele. Let's get started. But if you haven't checked out the previous episode, highly recommend go check it out. It will be linked in the description down below if you haven't missed it. But if you haven't seen it already, it was a pretty good episode. And let us see. Can Mega Lucario... Ooh, actually, one game away from the 1800s. I actually did play the Mega Lucario team off camera while testing. When it was in its early stages, and actually I was able to make it to the 1800s on one time, so that was pretty nice. I also think I peaked like 1750 on doubles. I was only testing a few battles, but it ended up working pretty well overall, so I was pretty happy with the product. I still think I should probably change the Incineroar to Taunt, because I feel like Taunt and Incineroar could be a lot better on this team, to be honest. But otherwise, yeah. So, I also want to ask people what kind of Mega Evolutions you want me to use next, because I have quite a few teams already kind of planned. Yet, I'm still building off a lot of the Mega Evolutions, and I don't think we had a repeat Mega Evolution. No, I think I've used all different Mega Evolutions for each team of the series. So, let me know what kind of Mega Evolution that's viable that you would like, because honestly, there are quite a few. I'm not sure, because I'm on borderline between using a few Mega Evolutions and like excluding some. Like Mega Aggron and Mega Audino are kind of like borderline. I'm not sure if I'm going to build off those two Mega Evolutions, because Mega Aggron is already Mega Steelix, which is pretty much the same but hits even harder, and probably is more useful in VGC because it's dual stab is pretty nice. Like, this stab steel type alone, unless it's like Stack Attacka, isn't really going to be doing too much, or Metagross isn't going to be doing too much from Aggron. And then you got like Audino, Mega Audino. I really feel like regular Audino might be better, to be honest, because Fairy adds some weaknesses that are more common, as fighting isn't as common, I would say, just because of the fact that there aren't too many good fighting types out there. Well, there are a lot of good fighting types. It's just people don't decide to use them because, we got all these fairies. We got, like, Metagross, Lele's. Well, Lele is a fairy type, but you know what I mean. We got, like, so many Pokemon that check fighting type Pokemon. So, not exactly sure. I've been testing around some stuff. I guess I'll just say it. I've been testing out Mega Heracross, Mega Houndoom. I've even been testing out Mega Glalie again, and people haven't seen me from my VGC 2015 series. I did build a team around Mega Glalie, and I'm trying to figure out how to make it work again, because, yeah, Talonflame being nerfed in this generation just made that team like a lot worse. So I got to figure out how to build around it again. All right, but we're going against a pretty standard team for the first part. We got. Actually, is this a rematch? Because I feel like I recognize the name, and we definitely played this team before. Wasn't it like Specs Lele on this team? Like Lele, Metagross, Zapdos, Landorus, Amoonguss, and the Tyranitar? I feel like this is. I honestly feel like this is. I think I want to try out something different. I feel like trying out something different could be very nice. I think I'm going to try out Lele plus Incineroar, if it is the case, because Rotom didn't really do too much other than switching to Landorus, and even then, like, it just got a light screen up and then didn't really do much for the rest of the game. So I feel like maybe just go Lele and Incineroar for damage output if my opponent wants to lead. I think Lele and Amoonguss it was. I just don't remember if this was the same opponent. Could end up horribly. Lucario in the back for sure, and Landorus in the back. Let's see how this is going to go. Light screen wasn't too big of a deal, because it turned like probably 2 KOs into 2 KOs anyway. It really didn't change much. So I'm going to try out my Lele plus Incineroar, because this covers the same lead. I don't know if you're going to lead something different, which definitely is possible here. But I think it's actually a decent lead against this team. We'll find out. Lele Zapdos, okay. So, are you Psychic Seed Zapdos, or are you just like the Citrus Berry, which is pretty common? You are Psychic Seed Zapdos, okay. So, a double up in the Lele will pick up a knockout. Okay, so Lele Zapdos, you have to assume you want to have Metagross in the back. Landorus, I'm assuming, is the last Pokemon, so probably no Amoonguss. I could taunt a Zapdos, but a double up into Lele would pick up the knockout. I could fake out Psychic so I could Shadow Attack the following turn, which wouldn't be a bad idea either. Because I think this is modest Lele. You know what? I don't want Tailwind to go up. I think fake out Psychic's fine, unless Metagross comes in. You are going to Metagross, aren't you? Yeah. Very smart play from my opponent. I kind of regret going for the play that I made now. For sure. I should consider that an option. Maybe I should have Shadow Psyche Flare Blitz. Actually, yeah, that was the better play. Shadow Psyche Flare Blitz. I would have got the knockout. Gleam gonna come out. That's not gonna do too much. It's Life Orb Lele. Okay. It being Life Orb Lele is really interesting. You should just probably Stomping Tantrum the Incineroar. I would Stomping Tantrum the Incineroar and what? Gleam again? It could go into Lucario. And go out in a Landorus because I will take those attacks. You know what? I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try out going to Lucario as well as Landorus because you're probably just going to Stomping Tantrum this turn. I really regret not going for Psychic Flare Blitz. It kind of popped into my mind right after that Metagross could switch out. So Landorus going to come in. Not dropping Intimidate on the Metagross, unfortunately, because of Clear Body. If you're my opponent, I definitely want an Iron Head here. I would definitely go for Stomping Tantrum into Incineroar. But I could also see Iron Head in a Lele and a Psychic in Incineroar if you are expecting to switch. But I feel like that's so risky. Lele's going to protect. Okay. It's coming out from the Stomping Tantrum. Yeah, in the Landorus. Okay, perfect. Okay. I guess this made the game a bit more interesting because I don't know what my opponent's really going to do. Do I need Landorus around? If it's Scarf Landorus in the back, I do kind of need the Landorus around. I think Meteor Mash is the safe play, but the problem is, do you target down my Lucario or do you target down the Landorus? I could also just switch out my Landorus in Incineroar, which also could work. Yeah, I think that's also a safe play because it catches an Ice Punch. And I think Lele's going to switch out into Zapdos here. Yeah. So I could Swords Dance, but the problem is I don't know what Metagross does here. I just don't know what Metagross does here. That's like the key crucial factor here. So I get Incineroar in, which is pretty good. Actually, the Psychic damage on Metagross might put in Flare Blitz range, which would actually be amazing here. Oh, he protects. I could have Swords Dance up and then direct into close combat and a fake out. Oh, that would have been amazing. Huh. So not going aggressive there. Maybe fearing a Scarf? You might expect me to switch out Incineroar again into Landorus. I could see that play. I'm going to Flare Blitz and switch out because I should be able to live a Stomping Tantrum from the Metagross after the Intimidate and get my berry back. You could Ice Punch the slot here. I think the switch can be very obvious here. But I feel like you could also Stomping Tantrum my Lucario too. So, I don't know. There are a lot of plays you can make here. So, let's see what you're going to go out for. Zapdos going to switch out into Landorus? Amoonguss. That's fine. And it's a Stomping Tantrum into Incineroar. Okay, so I should survive this. Yeah, and I get my berry back. But, unfortunately, I am probably going to lose my Incineroar. Next turn to the Gleam, I think, after Recoil. So I gotta think about how do I want to play the rest of these turns. On the bright side, I got rid of the Metagross, which is really good. Actually, I should live with Gleam. Only way Lele should be able to knock me out is with a Moonblast, and I'm pretty sure it's Taunt on this kind of team. So I'm actually in a really solid position here. Let's see what my opponent decides to bring out. Probably the... Would you bring out Lele or would you bring out Zapdos? You'd bring out Zapdos, okay. A Thunderbolt shouldn't knock out Incineroar, unless your Z-move. Maybe your Z-move Zapdos? I don't know, they don't really run Z-move on this team. I think Rock Tomb is the play. Should I just knock off? I could U-turn the Amoonguss, because I also don't know if Flare Blitz will knock out, which it probably won't. Although, I think Rock Tomb's a fine play into the and a Flare Blitz into Amoonguss, because even if you protect Amoonguss, I feel like that's alright here, as you don't actually protect Amoonguss, so I get a lot of damage off, and I get a Rock Tomb in Zapdos, which is actually huge damage. Hidden Power, okay, that's probably Hidden Power Ice, targeting Landis. I do have an Assault Vest, so I do take that quite comfortably. Get a Flare Blitz off. This is going to do a lot of damage to Amoonguss. I don't think the recoil will pick up, no, recoil's not knocking me out for sure, but yeah, it's going to survive. I just didn't want to double, ooh. Oh, I'm not going to survive because it's a Rocky Helmet set. Huh. Spore. Okay. Well, that made the game a little bit more interesting. Psychic Terrain disappears. Is Lucario to play? No, I think the play is Lele. Huh. I'm trying to think about how this endgame works, because the problem is Tailwind is most likely going to be able to get up. I think I have to like go for some no sleep turns on my Landorus. So he's going to Tailwind this turn, and I think Spore as a last ditch. I'm going to protect and try to break through this first turn of sleep. Rocky Helmet, that was something I did not imagine. Maybe the play was just to go for Flare Blitz into Zapdos, because I would have probably, well, actually no, I didn't have my Blaze activated, so I don't think I would knock out Zapdos either way. But right here, what I gotta do is try to get myself into position where I stall out Tailwind, because I can't have my opponent getting up a Tailwind. Rage Powder, okay. Lander stays asleep, and Tailwind should be going up. Thunderbolt. Not what I expected at all. Because I think you want Lele to be faster, right? Because honestly, if Lele lives a Thunderbolt, I think I win the game. Unless you're going to try to set up now, if you expected that. I think I Moonblast the Amoonguss slot in case Lele tries to come in for free. Even if you protect Amoonguss, that's fine. Yeah, you're just going to keep Rage Powdering. Okay. So I get a Moonblast off into Amoonguss, which is going to KO. Do you Tailwind here, though? This Tailwind is annoying for me. I do wake up and get a Rock Tomb off. That's pretty big, because now, even if my opponent gets Tailwind, Zapdos is going to be slower than my Lucario. It's a Hidden Power. Why is my opponent not going for Tailwind? Like, the reason I think you go for Tailwind in this position is just because then your Lele is faster than my Lucario. I did reveal Lucario, right? Yeah, I had Lucario. Like, I showed it. You're not Scarf Lele, you're a Life Orb. The only way I lose this game is if I miss Meteor Mash. And of course, this is a 90% move, so... Because I thought you would try to outspeed so you could get a Life Orb Psychic knockout Lucario in this endgame. I'm just gonna Moonblast Zapdos and Meteor Mash here. Like, it literally comes down to, do I hit the Meteor Mash? That's what decides. If you protect Lele, that's probably a 100% win condition for me. Because I could probably just... is that a 100% win condition? No, if it's a 100% win condition if I win Speed Tie, I think. Okay, I do hit Meteor Mash, and that's game. Yeah, so surprised about how that endgame turn happened. Well, what I tried to do was try to stall out like my opponent, like keeping in Zapdos plus Amoonguss. My opponent going for Tailwind like the first turn, and then I would be able to stall it out because I'd be able to stall it out because like Amoonguss can't do much. I could sack my Landorus if I had to, stall out a little bit with my Lucario. I could probably Meteor Mash plus Shattered Psyche on the second turn, no, on the third turn of Tailwind. Because I knock out Amoonguss, fakes that Rock Tomb. Lele should be faster than Zapdos unless it's a really, really fast Zapdos, and which I don't think it would be. I think it would be a bulkier Zapdos on this team. Because I'd be able to Meteor Mash the Amoonguss, outspeed it, knock it out, and then Shattered Psyche, knock out the Zapdos. Then it'd be Lele, fourth turn of Tailwind, double protect, and then I Meteor Mash Moonblast. And hopefully, if I hit Meteor Mash, I do win the game. That's kind of what I expected the game to happen, but instead it completely went a 180. I do feel like I definitely played... I should slow down and think about my turns, because the turn 1 was super obvious to me after I thought about it. But we're 1800s now, but I am kind of a little upset at myself for missing that crucial opportunity, because knocking out Metagross turn 1, that could have been huge. As we find a 1652 rated player from Japan as our second opponent, running a pretty standard team. You got Tapu Koko, Snorlax, Kartana, Cresselia, Landis-Farian, and Charizard. Okay. So, Incineroar, pretty good. Lele is pretty good here. I like both of those as a lead. Lucario can put in some work. I like Snorlax a lot too. It just depends on... Okay, so I could go for 2 different games, I think. One, a hyper offensive mode. Or plan B is a more defensive game with Snorlax. I'm not sure. Would you go Snorlax Cresselia against my team though? I just don't see it really. With Incineroar plus Lele and my own Snorlax, I just feel like you would try to avoid it. Because you would bring Kartana, I think. I think you bring Charizard. I think you bring Landers. I'm guessing you go Koko. I just don't see you bring Snorlax plus Cresselia. Okay. Well, at least in a game 1 situation. I'm going to lead Incineroar plus Lele. Yeah, that's pretty good. Because I can fake out the 2 flying types, which are Landers and Charizard, which are the only ones that really threatening my Lele, other than maybe Kartana. Then I have Landers in the back, and I think I bring Lucario. Just as an answer to Snorlax, just in case. Also, Medium Match is going to do a lot of damage overall. I need to knock out Koko, though. And if my opponent has Tailwind, we're going to have a little bit of trouble. Let's figure out how this is going to go. Definitely a winnable matchup. It just depends on how my opponent really just decides to go about it. Tapu Koko Landers. So I'm guessing it's Charizard Kartana in the back. Okay. That's pretty good because I lead Incineroar plus my Lele. Your Landers is pretty much threatened off the bat. It's not Scarf Landers. Okay. I can fake out Landers and Psychic the Koko. I guess what are some options to consider? You could switch out Landers, I think, but I don't know. Would you switch in Landers to potential Shattered Psyche that could come out, or Life or Psychic or something that I have? I think you might Volt Switch or Koko, which is definitely a possibility, but I think fake out in a Landers and Psychic is a no drawback play, because I don't think there's anything really immediate my opponent can pressure me into. Because I could always switch out Lele into like Kartana or something, so let's see how this works. Ideal situation is I'm somehow able to knock out Koko, but you should Volt Switch here. But if you Volt Switch into like Cresselia, I guess we play an Ally Switch mind game. Like that's, I guess, could be annoying. Psychic should knock out Koko if it stays in though. Okay, stays in with both. Fake out. Does go for a Volt Switch in the Incineroar, so more threatened by my Incineroar. What's ever coming is taking a Psychic. If it is Cresselia, which honestly is like one of the things I see why you Volt Switch, but like, yeah, okay, Cresselia. Now we're playing an Ally Switch mind game. Alright, so I could have gotten knockout Landers, but not too big of a deal because I could always just switch out in my own Landers. The question is, do I want a Shattered Psyche? Because that could give Lucario a way to set up. I could also Shattered Psyche the Cresselia slot if I'm anticipating something like a... Oh no, this is the thing about Ally Switch. My opponent could throw it off. Or you could Trick Room and again Snorlax. You know what, I'm gonna Shattered Psyche the Landers. We'll see if this goes well. Stays in with both. Even if you Ally Switch, I guess I like get a lot of damage on Cress, and his Landers can't knock me out, which is good. But like, this still can be bad. Okay, it's not Ally Switch, so maybe you just didn't bring Charizard? I don't know, I feel like you bring Kartana in this matchup though. Because Kartana like could sweep my team, so why Cresselia? Unless you have Snorlax, because that's the only way I really see bring Cresselia, right? Unless you just want to Ally Switch mind games me with Kartana, which I wouldn't really mind as much. Shadow Psyche knocks out a Landers. I don't care if you're AB. Well, if it's a really bulky AB, maybe it could survive. Just an Icy Wind coming out. Okay, not too bad. I'm glad I didn't taunt there. Because I felt like taunt was just super, like it's just super risky. Taunt is absolutely really risky there. It's coming out. Koko? Koko. I can protect Earthquake if I want to. I just don't know if he has HP Ice or not. I think the safe play is just to go in Incineroar because I get to scout for an HP Ice and protect. Because I don't risk switching into a Gigavolt Havoc at all. Yeah, I think that's the play. I feel like it's just a super safe play. That unless my opponent makes a really hard read and like Thunderbolts my Landers. Which is already like super risky in the first place. I don't feel like you go for it. So I get Incineroar in. And Lele protects. Let's see what you're going for. You are going to Gigavolt Havoc right off the bat. So I could have just protect Earthquake, I think. That's annoying. Because I just didn't know if you were going to Gigavolt Havoc right off the bat. Or if you had HP Ice. Because if you had HP Ice, I feel like you double up the Lander slot. Because Lele can't one-hit KO Koko. So this is going to do a lot through Protect. This is probably going to do like 40%. Oh, that did a bit less than I thought. Okay, like 30, 35. Icy Wind comes out. At least this thing doesn't have Gigavolt Havoc anymore, so I don't have to worry about it KOing him on my side. I honestly feel like I could just switch Lele into Incineroar because a Gleam isn't going to do too much. If you have HP Ice, you would have went for it, I feel like. So I'm guessing you don't have HP Ice. I'm going to go Landorus and fake out the Cresselia. And then I think I'm just going to, what? U-turn knockoff? The problem is I can't really Earthquake next to myself. So I get Landorus in. Helping Hand. Helping Hand Thunderbolt? That was a very good Helping Hand too. Especially if it's in Incineroar, which I could definitely see here since your damage output against Incineroar is pretty low. Yeah, very solid play. This doesn't KO though, does it? Yeah. I wish I kind of had Protect now. Not game over yet. Oh, definitely not game over. He would put me in Blaze range if he goes for Helping and Thunderbolt again, and I could survive it if I go Lele. So I'm gonna Flare Blitz and go into Lele. He might protect Icy Wind too. I could definitely see that as a play, but then he can't knock out Incineroar the following turn. And then an Icy Wind isn't going to do too much to Lele, so I could probably just threaten a knockout on a Koko the following turn. Ooh, let's see. It's going to protect, so I'm guessing it's an Icy Wind here. I could have U-turned straight out, but actually U-turn was a fine play, wasn't it? Well, I didn't want Helping Hand Thunderbolt to go off first, right? Still tricky. Still very tricky. You're not going to Icy Wind here, I feel like. I'm actually going to save my Lele and go hard Landers. Yeah, I'm going to go hard Landers here. Because you can't KO my Incineroar, you get me in Blaze with a Helping Hand Thunderbolt, and then I would be able to KO your Koko. So I'm actually going to go hard Landers because Landers should be able to take hits. So let's see what my opponent decides to do here. Going to be the Volt Switch in ooh. Not expect Volt Switch at all. Because I could have Psychicked and pick up the knockout on that slot. Snorlax? What's Snorlax in the back? Oh no, are you Trick Rooming? Oh yeah, Icy Winding. Okay. That's not bad. On contrary, it could have been a lot worse. Okay. Oh, I need to prioritize the knockout on Cresselia. At the same time, I also need... This endgame might have got a bit tricky. Ooh, I got a lot off because of the Blaze. I just got a lot of damage off. Are you ally switch is the question. Oh, this is why ally switch is gonna be a hard move to maneuver. Alright, Lucario comes out. Helping Hand, Icy Wind. Meteor Mash and a U-turn should be able to finish off the Cresselia. I could also close... No, Superpower doesn't knock out Snorlax in one hit. So I'm not going to close combat one slot and then Superpower the other because that's a pretty pointless play in my opinion. I'm going to Meteor Mash and U-turn. Yeah, you're going to withdraw Snorlax and a Koko, which is completely okay by me. Okay. Honestly, I don't see Koko knocking out my Lucario in one hit. Alright. It comes down to, does Meteor Mash put it in the berry range? Because if it doesn't, I'm pretty sure U-turn knocks it out, which is why I want to make this play. I thought Ally Switch was coming out, to be honest, but this works out in my favor. Meteor Mash comes out. Yeah, it doesn't put it. And I'm faster than Crest. Does U-turn pick up the knockouts? The question. It does. That's beautiful. Okay. Oh, with a crit. Honestly, it might have been able to survive that because it took the Meteor Mash quite decently, but I go Lele here. And Lele was just such in a good position because now without Psychic Terrain, I get a close combat and a Psychic off and I KO something. Psychic should be able to knock out Koko. And close combat will be able to knock out the Snorlax. It just comes down to, I guess, if you crit or para. Or if you have like Skydrop. Skydrop, I guess, could be annoying. No, wait, your Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Protect. You haven't seen the last move. I'm guessing it's Gleam. Because then your Como matchup is pretty bad. Yeah. Close combat. Psychic. Because Snorlax, I'm guessing, doesn't carry Protect. Because I feel like if he had Protect, he might have went for it earlier. Oh, you're actually going to protect Koko. So close combat's going to come out, and that's definitely going to knock out Snorlax. Yeah, Mega Lucario able to KO the Snorlax. Beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Okay. So I get rid of Snorlax. Really nice. And then Psychic into Koko. Which doesn't occur yet. But it will. Landorus slips any one hit. I feel like close combat just is more optimal. Gleam crit shouldn't knock me out. Yeah, I'm gonna close combat actually. I'm gonna Psychic. Like, I don't feel like I would have needed to, because of close combat, just in case like this Koko's like trained a bit more defensively and could survive my Earthquake since I'm not max attack Landorus. But yeah, end up pulling the win. Feel like in the beginning I was playing really well, but then I kind of struggled against the Koko. I guess some of, like, the Snorlax was, having Snorlax in the back was really interesting. No Kartana too. No Kartana, no Charizard, just made it so much easier to switch on my opponent. And honestly, no Trick Room up. I felt like my opponent could have honestly Trick Roomed and Belly Drummed any time and could have just got so much momentum, but I don't know. Maybe he was afraid of something, like me going for a knockoff, reading it into the Snorlax, and didn't want me to do that at all. But yeah, able to pick up a win. Could have played, I definitely think there were some turns I could have played better. Like, I could have immediately got rid of the Koko. I could have got big Psychic off into the Koko slot. That one turn I did switch out. I just ended up playing a bit more safe, but that's the thing about playing too safe. If your opponent catches on and makes aggressive reads, they can definitely get back into the game. And my opponent was getting back into the game because my Pokemon were just getting so weakened. Another thing I could have probably done was maybe ignore the Koko. Even though I was going for like maybe an endgame sweep with Lucario, and Game Rare Koko was the right play. Maybe Game Rare Cresselia was better because then Landorus would be able to handle those two Pokemon in the back. Of course, I didn't know what the last Pokemon was until revealing Snorlax. If it was Charizard, could have been a different story. Especially depending on what kind of speed tier it is. But hope that everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2018 Back to Back Battles. As always, if you did, please leave a like down below, show support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff, such as my social medias and all that good stuff linked in the description down below. The previous episodes, the side series on the channel, and of course, feel free to leave a comment down below. I do read them. Otherwise, have a good day, people. I will catch you around in another video.